Good evening. I'm here to debunk some propaganda and speak about what really isn't propaganda, which is there's some things that have come to light recently, but I'm going to start off by telling you about the Interagency Council on Affordable Housing, which is the lead agency for all housing initiatives for Public Act 12-1 in the state of Connecticut. Their task is to identify their priority as housing for the state's elderly, homeless, very low income, and workforce populations, as well as affordable housing near transit in downtowns and outside of poverty areas. I also have a quote from Catherine Harris, who's the commissioner of the DECD, who testified in regard to HB 6851, which is the creation of a transit corridor authority here in the state of Connecticut. And she says, the Transit Corridor Development Authority's focus will be on working with municipalities, regional organizations, and state agencies such as the DECD to concentrate housing, parking, cultural, and commercial development near transit stops. Department of Housing Director Lundgren, quote, Connecticut's approach to affordable housing today is to prioritize housing that connects residents with opportunities, such as adjacent to transit. So when I come here and I speak about how the state wants to build a bunch of housing near railroad stations, and people actually go online and say that that's conspiracy theory, they make themselves look very foolish. We have the state of Connecticut that wants to establish, and this is the Governor's Bill 6851, a transit corridor authority which would leave a state-appointed board of members with development control within 1/2 mile radius of any proposed train or busway station. The bill's language, or the original language, provides the authority the powers of eminent domain, which, although that's been removed from the redrafted committee bill, the Department of Transportation does currently retain that power. The intent of the bill has become very apparent. People testifying in favor of the bill said these projects are not moving forward fast enough. The founders of Stamford, some of the founders of Stamford have taken strong opposition to this bill. Basically, they don't want the state telling them what to do in the downtown. Now, I realize there's been some modifications on the bill that basically say it has to follow your plan of conservation and development, which here in the city of Bristol, it wouldn't matter because it has to follow the state growth principles, which designate, concentrate housing along transportation hubs. But still in the bill, which, by the way, there's 11 members on this authority. 4 of them are appointed by the governor. 1 would be appointed jointly by the Speaker of the House and the President pro tempore of the Senate. It provides the power to seize private property and condemn it, not with permission, but in consultation from the city. I guess I'm out of time, so I'll save it for when it's less fun. Thanks.
Yes, Sean. You know, we've been watching for a year, 2 years. You're coming up here every single month. What is your biggest fear? What's going to happen to downtown?
What we're going to do is we're going to expand a bunch of housing in the downtown, and the state has initiatives. They want to subsidize the apartments for people that have college debt, and they call it the Young Professionals Incentive Program. Well, if there's a market for that, we would already had people come forward, investors. But when we had Renaissance come to the table and ask for $6 to $12 million, they only had the project funded privately 7%. The rest of it relies on public funding. If it's not a viable project, that's going to get, just like Huntington Woods, it's going to be a bunch of low-income housing. But what we have that's much different than the redevelopment in the 60s is we're talking about dense, affordable housing near transportation. An urban center that has a good, business base, it can help to an extent. But if you don't have a lot of free market activity going on, like right over here, and you start to build a bunch of housing in a housing incentive zone, the state doesn't care if as far as I'm concerned. They just want to place people next to transit. We're going to have a housing hub over here, an all-heart housing hub. And I don't think that's good for the future of Bristol. If we want to grow Bristol up, let's grow Bristol where Bristol's already growing. But we're not. That's not where the subsidies are. The subsidies are over here. It's like a wolf in sheep's clothing. That's what this is. This is to take over part of the free market, to capture a part of the free market that doesn't exist right now, because they're trying to get people some disposable income by giving them free transportation. They're going to have more disposable income. They're going to spend it over here in the community. It's based on fallacy. You can't. Milton Friedman once said, "Don't judge big government policies by their intentions, but by their results." We had somebody come here from Greenville, and he said he was the mayor of Greenville, right? He came to talk about how they're stimulating growth. Did he talk about they're having a bus rapid transit coming to Greenville? Do the people of Bristol know that? Thank you.
Thank you.